So this is the video that goes with this altered book, a double spread. One of the first pages in the book that I actually quite like. It's got a window with a piece of fabric conditioner side, a bottle side in it. I've just cut it out and stuck it in, and a couple of clip art pictures, and this is one of my little fairies that I've drawn myself, which if you look down my videos you can see how I draw these. So here's how I did it. So here we are making our next double spread, and this one actually is going to be this page and sort of this page here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a window in here. Don't know what I'm going to use for the window yet, but it's going to be that page and this, and that window will be cut out. Now if you notice here, the book doesn't look too good. Can you see how it's coming apart? So I'm going to have to do something about that. I don't know what I'll do yet. Probably put a piece of material or something like that down there. I've got a couple of bits of ribbon in my box that I can probably use. Once again, I'm only using my one box of materials. I've picked these out of it, so I'm going to be playing with these today, and I'm going to make a 3-page spread, I suppose it is. I've glued 3 pages together here, 3 pages together here, and 3 pages together here, and this is the back of that double page spread that I did yesterday. So let's make a start. So what I've decided is I'm going to put that on that page and that on that page. That's going to be a window, and I'm going to use these other images as a background. I've got these images here. Now these are some little dolls that I'd drawn, but I don't think I'm going to use those this time, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to put a black line around these. I've decided that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm using a permanent marker, because if I use a paint pen marker it won't be permanent, and it'll probably run through the run through the pen that I'm going to use, and of course the permanent marker isn't working. So I'll go back to the drawing board and find another one. Okay, I'm back again. I've got a whiteboard marker. This will do because it's not water-based. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a black line around all my pictures. I don't know why I'm putting a black line around all my pictures, but I feel like they need one. To be honest with you, today I'm just filling in some time. I've been working from home, and instead of having my lunch at lunchtime, hubby's going to work at about 3. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to make him his dinner for about 3. So what I'm doing is I'm having an arty lunch, and then I'm going to work this afternoon, make hubby his dinner for 3, and then I'm going to do a bit more work this evening, do some emails and some other bits and pieces this evening, rather than working during the day, which seems to work okay for me. Now if you can hear a chomp 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 noise, it's the puppy. Puppy is nearly a year old. I don't think he can be classed as a puppy for much longer. And he's there eating some sort of a chew because he can, and he'll come and show it to me in a minute because he thinks that I need to see it. But it's what he does all day long. We went out for a walk at 6 this morning, and we went for quite a long walk. So I would have thought that he'd have been tired out, but nope. All he wants to do is walk around, showing off, showing everybody his nice chew that he's got, which actually happens to be, looking at it, a manky hoof that he's had for a while. Okay, we're nearly finished. And now he's whining at the other dog that we've got because she's picked it up and started to chew it because he's left it. So I may have to go and stop him. I'm not overly bothered about the marker on the background because I believe that's the part that I'm going to be cutting off, so I'm not overly bothered. I don't really know why I'm doing a black outline either, but I am. Just something that I thought would look better than the white outline around the photographs. Okay, it's got a bit of a white and a black, but I'm not really bothered. This one here, I always think that this picture of the boy, it looks like almost evil on it. Look at his face. But anyway, he's going to go in the background, so we won't see much of his face. Maybe what I should have done is I should have done some paint on the background and then done this as a bit of a surface pattern, but it's there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these down as a background, then I'm going to put some paint on the top and cut out my window to make a middle window. So where are we going to put these? I think what we will do is we'll use some white clear glue to do this, and we will put the girl here because I want her to be sort of at the side of the window. Maybe before I do anything else, I need to reinforce this. So I had some material in my box, and I think we'll use this. We'll stick this down in here, and that should give us a good reinforced folding piece. Plenty of glue. This glue's quite old, and over time it's gone a bit thin, so it'll stick it there. This material is from some curtains that I made my daughter. So I made my daughter a set of curtains for a shed, believe it or not, where she's got her incubator and her chickens. That's why, if you look, that's a chicken. Right, so that's that. We won't put the girly on this side because maybe, oops, she's not going to fit. So we'll put the girly up here. Just rip that corner off her, but not overly bothered. Girly there. I think I'll have that down at the bottom as well. Not right at the bottom, but at the bottom. Like that. And then on this page here we'll have this nice large girl here. Now when I'm doing this, I am wanting some of the background some of the writing on the background to be visible, because in this altered book the background is going to show through because of the text is so beautiful that in places I want the text showing through. Oh dear, I've got a bit of a bubble in it, but once the paint goes on it I don't think that we'll see that, will we? And then down here we're just going to put, well, maybe not because I want my focal point down there. Maybe we'll put this one here. Up there, up there. That's it. Now, I'm just going to put some of these numbers around as well. This is like a picture of a bingo card that I've got in a swap somewhere. It must have come in some Happy Mail at some point. In fact, I shouldn't really have cut that. I should have left it as a whole piece. I think... no. Maybe I will cut it. Maybe we'll have that like that. Okay. 63 and 64. Bingo. 63 down here. And I believe we'll have 64 up at the top. Why not? 63 and 64. Okay. On this side we'll have 74. We'll stick it up there like a page number, I think. There we go. We're going to have a focal point down here. That's been cut out on this page here. So this is the back of the window. I think we'll have a line of numbers. '81 and '86, and on this side here we will probably have the tall, evil-looking boy that he's definitely got a cross face, hasn't he? We'll have him stood there, and then we'll have some other numbers, I think. I don't like the blanks, I only like the numbers. Bit weird, but how I like them. So I think we'll have these numbers here. Which that'll sort of determine the size of the window. The window will sort of cut round those two. I maybe need something in here, something plastic in there so that it's not going to stick together. But in my box of tricks I don't think I've got anything. I'll find something plastic, a file one of those Polly Pockets or something like that to put in there. In the meantime, I shall improvise by using the back of my stencil book. Okay, so I've got some more numbers here. I'm just going to cut them out, and then I'm going to leave the background to dry. Don't really know what to do with these numbers, whether to put them on this side here or put them on this side here. Probably this side. So plenty of glue on. I will probably put numbers over here and a couple more pictures. So numbers, cover up the hunchback. This glue really is runny. I need some thicker glue. Put in here. Remembering that I'm going to have a picture down here somewhere, aren't I? So maybe it's not a good idea to put my photographs at the bottom. Put them up here. One there. Remembering I want to see some of the writing through. So I'll see writing here. It's very, very uneven, is that? Not that one for perfectly straight, but I want to see some of the writing. That's it. That one. And maybe, yeah, maybe that one. We'll put this one here. All right. Now, next thing is I'm going to put some paint on here. So it doesn't really need to dry as such. It might crackle a little bit, but I'm not bothered about that. So first of all, I'm going to use some matte medium. The reason why I'm using matte medium is because the paint then will go on, and the matte medium almost gives it a translucent look. So first of all, I'm using this nice green paint, Avocado, and put a couple of squeezes of that in. Now, where it touches the paper without being mixed with the matte medium, what you find is it gives an intense colour. Where it's mixed with the matte medium, it gives a translucent colour. So if you mix it with the matte medium like this, but not mixed up too much, and then pull it down the page, what you see is you see areas where you get the green and areas where you don't, and that's the look that we're going for. Now, I did have a credit card to do this, or an old store card, but I don't know where it's gone. It was in my box, it's not in my box now. Pull that down, don't know what that bit is there, but that can come out. I love this green. So, when I've done this, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to have to let this page dry, I think, before I do the other page, because this really will stick together. And the matte medium, it's very much like a glue. Let's put a bit over there. she says, but really then messes this page up as well with it. And remembering that I'm cutting out the middle bit, I don't really need to do all of this page. And I'm going to put another colour in anyway, so thinking about it. Scrape it down this page as well. Now, if need be, I can always put a bit more on here, but maybe that is enough of the avocado. And of course I can always come in and put a bit more on, but I like it because it's almost see-through. You can almost see through it, but in places you can't. So that's why we mix the matte medium in with it, because then you can see through it in places, you can't see through it in others. You just get a colouring over the top. It makes for an interesting background. Once again, remember we're cutting this piece out, so we're not overly bothered about that. Right, don't know if I'm going to dry this with the dryer, with a hair dryer. Maybe not, maybe leave it. And we'll just put our next colour on in a couple of minutes when it just starts to go tacky, this. I almost feel like I should be singing or something like that, because all that I can hear is the chomp 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 of the dogs chewing on a bone, and I think that that's quite annoying. So when I do this, I don't know if I'm actually going to leave this on, or if I'm going to put music over it. Right, we'll let that dry and then we'll be back. So this is nice and dry, and we're ready for our next colour on it, which is going to be conifer green. So once again, we're just going to squeeze some of the paint onto the page, some matte medium, quite a bit of matte medium. I'm using this piece of card. I really do wish that I knew where my card was that I usually use. Squish it up a bit and then pull it across. So if you can see now, the colour that we used underneath, you can see parts of it showing. Remember, we don't need to do that middle bit unless we want to. But when we cut the window out, what I've found is, you cut the window out, the piece of card that you use, that's the piece that's been cut out from the window, you can use it as a bookmark or as a tag. So it's never wasted. It's just used for something else. I really do need to go and find my card. I used to have an old store card or a used credit card for doing this. And it's so much easier than pulling it down with this. Okay, so can you see now how the colours underneath look really, really nice? Because once again, you're just getting a covering on it which is almost translucent. I'll just switch some of that over there. So still see the writing through it. I can see my pictures through it, which that's what the matte medium does. It just gives that translucent finish to the paint. Something that you can't do with water. If you try and thin it down with water, it doesn't work. It gives like a colouring over your page rather than the see-through look. So if you look on this side here, what I'm doing is I'm just putting this over, and like I said before, the middle piece of that will probably go in the book as a tag at some point, or I'll use it as a bookmark or similar. Right, I think that's about done. Question is, do I need a third colour on here, or am I happy with it as it is? I think I'm happy with it as it is. So I quite like that green underneath, because the green is almost yellow. It's almost a yellowy green. I can still see some of the pictures here. Just peeled that one back, but we can stick it down. I think I'm happy with that. I've got a bit of texture there, but we like texture, don't we? Now what I could do is, when this is dried, I could come in with a little bit of sandpaper and sand off so that I can see my background a lot clearer. I found though that if I just rub over like that, I can rub some of the paint off. Right. Now, originally what I was going to do was I was going to put some gesso over this and put some gesso over it, maybe put some tape down, put some gesso over it, and then peel the tape off so that the gesso won't be where the tape is. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Right, I'm going to bin this, have a cup of coffee, let this dry. So this background's just about dry. I'm coming in with my last layer now. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use some Distress ink. I'm going to put it on the table, on my cloth, because I've got a cloth down here. So I'm going to put it on the cloth. Put plenty down, and then a little bit of matte medium, and then I'm going to use my brush, I think, or am I? What am I going to use? My card. So I'm going to use my card. Pick up some of the colour with the matte medium. And just rub it over. Now this is very subtle, but what you'll notice is you'll get just that browning around the edges. Like this. And it just gives a nice finish, a nice coloured finish, does this. Nice subtle colour change. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just slightly changed the colour. Just toned it down a little bit so that it's not really bright green. Just wipe that off before I put the distress ink on again. Put some down there. A little bit of matte medium. Mix it up. And then just pull it across. I say it's just turning it down a little bit so that it's not a stark bright green. What I do like though about this green avocado background is the fact that when you use your black and white pens on it, it gives a really good contrast. Okay, we'll wipe that off again. I'm trying to keep my work surface neat and tidy. It doesn't always work. Right, I need to let that dry now and make sure that it doesn't stick together. So I'm going to put a tub of matte medium there, stand it up, let it dry. I've just finished work. This is nice and dry now. That's the reinforcing we did. And this is ready for the window to be cut out of it. So I've just got a cheap disposable knife. And I'm just going to cut around here, like this. It's going to cut easy because it's only a few pages. How about that for a really wonky line? That's not good, is it? Let's use the ruler. Use the ruler. Cut it. I have got a metal ruler somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Oh, can't be bothered to go and look for it. One of the two. More likely can't be bothered to go and look for it. So I'm just cutting along the lines that I've drawn to make a door or a window, whichever. Door or window. This got me thinking now, should we have it as a door? Hey ho, maybe not. I actually quite like that wavy line. That's the end of it. There. There. Draw a straight line down. This knife's moved up a bit. That's it, so that's my window, and as I said before, this, what I will probably use this for is I'll probably use it for a tag or something like that. Just neaten it off. This is where I just start and neaten it off and neaten it off and neaten it off. So I've cut a piece out of a fabric conditioner bottle and I'm going to use my crocodile to make some holes and fasten it on over there like that. First of all though, I'm just going to go around the edge of this with a black pen because it's easier to do it. In fact, I'll use this. It's easier to do it before we fix that on. Just going to go around this edging with a black pen there, just so that, oops, I don't have to mess around once we've done it. All that clattering is the dog with the chew once again, because as soon as I start doing anything, he starts barking and messing on. So might have to just stop there and okay, that's that done. Now I think I'm going to do the back bit as well, colour that as well, because if I don't I'll end up with the black marker pen on the window and I don't want that. So just do round there like that. I've had this pen some years. It's a Pitt pen and it's done really well. Quite like it for the smudgy effect that you get from it. Right, let's put this on. So I'm going to use the crocodile and I'm going to fasten it on over the top like that. What I might do is I might lace some string through it depending on how I feel. Let's have a look. It's not going to fit that. Oh, it might fit better that way actually. Will it? That way. No, missing a bit. Best the way that it was first designed, like that. So I'm going to punch a hole in here and in here and in here and in here, I believe. So crocodile, put it onto the hole, punch a hole, three holes in each side. It's only a fabric conditioner bottle, so if it's not right I can just go and cut the other side off it. Oh, that's fine. So now I'm going to make the holes in the book. Like that. Now my first thought was I was going to put some brads through it, but I haven't got any brads in here, and because I'm only using what I've got in the one box, it looks like what I'm going to use is some embroidery cotton. So line the crocodile up with a hole, make the holes through. That's it. Line it up. Oh. Might be easier to move the book rather than the crocodile. Now then, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Will we manage it? No. That way through? Yes. One. Where's the next hole? Nothing like being awkward, is there? Two, I think. And the third one is over here. About there. About. Will about do, we ask ourselves. I think about will do. We'll see. If about doesn't do, oh, not very good, that one. We'll manage it eventually. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That one's gone completely off. So do we punch another hole there or do we make it fit? I think we punch another hole, but the problem is if we punch another hole it's probably not going to work, but we'll try it. 1, 2, 3. Just hope it hasn't punched through into that other hole as well. No, not very good, that one. Right, so this was what I was going to use because we're just using what's in the box. So this is some blue embroidery cotton. Cut a piece. What I'm thinking is through there like that and tie it off, and then through the other one as well. Nothing like a bit of slaver that'll get it working. So like this. Make sure that's on the right way. Is it? Yeah. Through there. I might decide that I don't like this and do something totally different. Because in the past, what I've done when I've put a screen in anything is I've actually put the screen in between the pages. So not glued the pages together first, which is probably the best way to do it. So that's in there like that. And what I'm probably going to do is just tie a knot in it. And then leave that for some embellishments, maybe. Put that through there. And through there. Tie that. Push that under there maybe. Can't really see what I'm doing. That's it. And then tie that off here. What I can always do is bob some glue on the back here just to keep that knot tight. I'll probably leave that as is. And put some dangly bits on there. That there can be left like that. Now this side, what am I going to do with this side? That one's not going to hold, is it? Oh dear. So put that one through there. Through there. Can you hear the dog whining over the chew? He's always the same. He won't be quiet. Whatever I do, he won't be quiet. Right, put that through there. And through there. I think I might eventually put some brads in here anyway, just because I'm not liking this. So what I might do is I might cut this out and put some brads in eventually. Okay, so we put this through here. And then we put it through that hole there. see me pull the other end out now. Can't really see what I'm doing. I need to put the lights on, I think. Twist that up. Lift it out. Put that through there. Pull it through. Tie it at the back like we did the other one. Tie it at the back maybe, because I don't think that that one there is going to hold it. So what I might need to do is put some glue or something like that on it. I'm really struggling with this now because it's not looking how I wanted it to look, and I'm not very happy with it. But I suppose it's all just a learning curve, isn't it? And it's okay if it's not as good as I wanted it to be. I'll live with it. Basically, it's a piece of junk plastic that I've used to make something with, so what do I expect? That's it. I don't know. I'll decide on what I want to do with it later. I was going to stamp something on here, like a butterfly, but we might draw something on instead. So now I'm ready to bring my focal points in, or my 2 pictures in. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do them as 2 squares or if I'm going to put some gesso down and do 2 transfers. I haven't decided yet. This book originally was going to be a book that I used to just put transfers on, but I decided against that because I didn't like the first page that I'd done. So, because I didn't like the first page that I'd done, I left it, and I think it was about 8 months that it's been left, if not longer. In fact, it is longer than that. It was 2019, about March 2019 when I did something in this book for the first time, and then I disliked it, so I left it. Okay, she's got nice long curly hair as this girl, and then I'm just going to cut it off like that. Right, let's have a look at that. That looks better. So he's going to be on there like that, or shall we put it so that it's in the middle? Do we need it so that it's here like this? So that it's in the window. Now this is the question. Does it need to be in the window? Decisions. Yes, it needs to be in the window. And then at the other side, she needs to be in the window. I'm not going to cut her out, I'm leaving her as she is, like that, I think. Maybe not. I don't even know if I like her. Maybe I'm going to cut her out. Maybe what I'm going to do is use a totally different piece, because I don't think that I'm too keen of her on this other side. And I've got plenty more images in that box that I can use. We'll see. Do I like her? Maybe I do. And she can go over to there like that, so that she's in the window. Like that. Now, dilemmas. What do I do with this window? Do I glue it down like that, so she's in the window, and that's it? I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use some white. Have I got any white? Maybe I have got some. I've got a white gelato. I'm going to colour behind here, so I'm going to do it white. And this is where, with art, you can basically do whatever you want. I've decided that this is going to be white, therefore I just use one of these. And hey presto, use a bit of the silvery white as well. That'll give it a bit of a sheen behind. That's it. I love these because you can use them without water, and they make a lovely cloudy, smoky background. There we go. And then we'll stick her on. Like that. How far across? There we go. And then that will become our window. So I'm using Yoo-hoo glue because it sticks really well. This way as well, it'll cover up the roughness of this. So all I'm going to do is put some Yoo-hoo on here. To seal her in. That'll probably show, but who cares. Some glue on here, and now I'm cursing because I liked this side better. But hey ho, I'll know it's in there. Right, so I've put plenty of Yoo-hoo on there, plenty round here. Some matte medium, which will just stick her down. Oops. It's interesting, I wonder what happened there. So matte medium to stick her down. A little bit of matte medium on the white. That'll just seal it off. Stick her down Where does she need to be? There. Is that right? Yeah. She just needs to go across a fraction there, like that. Rub that mark off her face, which is glue. Really don't want to do that, do I? Get some tissue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick her down. Hopefully it'll work. Hey, I like that. I like the background, I like the white or the paler colour. I think what I might need to do is put some clips on there, or at least some weight to hold it down. And now I need to put something here to hold these pages together. Now that I've got this far, I might, just might, need to change this side focal point, because this was going to go in the window, and do I still like it? That's the question. Do I like this or not? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. What I could do is the piece of card that I cut out of there. What I could do is I could fix it onto here and make a pocket, and then have these two behind the pocket, maybe like that. Possibilities are endless. Maybe I won't. Okay, I think these two will go down here, and I'm going to put one of my little weird ladies let's tear this off. I'm going to put one of my little weird ladies standing behind. If I stand her on the crease, it'll reinforce the crease, and then I can just put that in here, and I can see a nice stripy feet, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe we might just stand these two in there and do away with these. I like the idea of these though, with the weird looking little lady, because it's like old and new. Maybe that's how we'll do it. She is a little bit strange, isn't she? That's it. And that'll reinforce this piece here that we need reinforcing, because it's pulling apart from this part of the book. So let's put some matte medium down. We'll move that. Put some matte medium down to stick this on, because I found that matte medium is a little bit stronger than PVA glue. It seems like it sets a little bit harder. I know that sounds silly, but it does tend to go rock solid, whereas PVA glue is a little bit rubbery, and it doesn't set as hard. There's some movement in it. Matte medium sets rock solid and there'll be no movement in it. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing actually, but at the moment I'm thinking it's a good thing. That's it. And then that, maybe that needs to be set in there a little bit more. That's it. That's it. I need to put something under here just to hold that side up while it dries. Can we still see that okay? Yeah. And the reasoning behind that is I want that to reinforce the back of the book. Put some matte medium on top of him and her. And then stand the strange woman up here. For no other reason than she's strange and we like her. I found with the matte medium as well that you don't actually need as much as you do with the PVA glue to make things stick, and sometimes they don't seem as though they've stuck in the beginning, but then try and reposition them and you will find that they're absolutely like rock, the matte medium's gone rock hard. So there we go. I'm just going to make sure that that's okay. And then what I'm going to do is, after I've finished with this and after it's dry, I'm going to go in and do a load of doodles on this page. So this page is going to be covered in doodles. I might even put some sort of wording on it, like I have done with the other pages. I'll probably put some sort of a poem on. But that's just about finished now. I need to put a clamp on there, so I'm going to put a clothes peg on here to hold it together while it totally dries. A couple of clothes pegs or clips to hold them together. Whinge, whinge, whine, whine, the silly dog. Okay, we're done. So I've decided I'm going to put a bit of stenciling on here, and to do that I'm going to use a little bit of black acrylic paint, not too much, and a sponge. Where's my sponge gone? There's a sponge, and I'm just going to use my stencil and bob a bit of the paint through the stencil, I think. Tiny bit down here, maybe a flower shape down there. feel like I'm just adding this for the sake of adding it now. So. Okay, it's just a bit of noise on it. But I am going to doodle all the way over here with, I think it's going to be with white. So the doodling is going to be in white. I'm not particularly happy with this page, but that's how this book seems to have gone on all the way through. Just pages that I'm not very happy with. But it's all part of the process, isn't it? So here we go, here's the finished page. I've done some doodles. I'm probably going to do some more doodles on here with a black pen. Look at my hands. So this is what it says. The moral of the history: he held her with a gloomy look, distant shouts of violence. With eyes brimful of tears, beware, those tears are lava. He had caught her again. She continued to struggle against the current. Horror mounting to the very roots of her hair, he pushed her away. And this is it. I'm quite impressed with this page. Eventually I found something in this book that I actually quite like. So there we go, finished.